I come, you are coming, you are coming, trusting. It's your turn.
Okay, hold on. You ready? I'm going to do it. This is Africa Archield, taking you from crazy, cranky overwhelm to the peaceful, joyous, love-filled life of your dreams. It's Conversation Wednesday, where it's all about what you want to talk about. And today's conversation starter comes from Winter. And Winter told me that he was not perfect.
Perfect.
Of course, you may be wondering why an almost 4-year-old would even think he was ever perfect. When Winter gives me a hug or a kiss, he always asks me if it's the best ever. And of course it's the best ever. He's my son. And of course it's the best ever. But then he went to a point where instead of asking me if it was the best ever, he would ask me if it was perfect. And then he would pick up his toys and he would tell me it was perfect. And then, of course, he told me that I was the perfect mommy. And the first time I heard it and the 100th time I heard it, it was all okay with me. Who doesn't want to be told they're the perfect mommy? But the bad thing about being perfect is you start to expect more and more of yourself. And that's what happened with Winter. In his move from being the best ever to perfect, I started to notice some changes. It used to be when I would tell him to pick up his toys and put them away. If he missed a toy or two and I pointed it out, it was all right. He would just go get it and put it away and show me with this ta-da once more that he had gotten all his toys. But all of a sudden, when he became perfect, missing those 1 or 2 toys was a huge problem to him because it wasn't perfect. And even as a little kid, he started to get all this pressure on himself. Not pressure I was putting on him or anyone else was putting on him, but just pressure around that idea of being perfect. And so one day, he climbed into my lap, much like he's doing right now, and he told me, I quit! I'm not perfect. I had never been so happy to have someone go back to being the best ever. It was just no fun, no joy, wrapped up in all of that perfectionism. Now, I know I can easily get caught up in perfectionism, whether it's making these videos, how I raise my children, cooking, cleaning, homeschooling, whatever. I get that perfectionism stuck in me sometimes. It rears its ugly head. And how do I know it's perfectionism? Because the fear sets in. And that fear starts to paralyze me. I can't do anything because it won't be perfect. Have you ever felt like that before? The fear comes in of not being perfect, so you just don't do anything at all. So how do you get past perfectionism? I know the one thing that I do, I forego my Jedi training. Yes, Jedi training.
Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
But if those are my choices, I won't do. When I try, I build up the momentum to push past my fear, push past that perfectionism, and get to the best ever, or at least good enough. Now, I know there are times where you have to be perfect. Now, my daughter is in theater. She's worked with a bunch of different directors. And some of them are okay with a little improv or paraphrasing the lines a little here and there. And other directors want her to be dead letter perfect. I think the problem is figuring out those times where you have to be dead letter perfect versus those times where it's okay to be the best ever, at least good enough. And there lies the conundrum of perfectionism. To beat perfectionism, ignore your Jedi training and try. I want to thank Winner for going back to being the best ever and giving Mommy this conversation starter. Did you enjoy this video? I know I did, because I'm the best mommy ever. And I'm sure you're the best ever too. So subscribe to this channel and share this video with all of your friends. Now get on over to AfricaArchield.com and join the conversation. Have you ever been so caught up in being perfect you were just paralyzed? How do you get over perfectionism? How do you determine those times when you have to be dead letter perfect versus being okay with the best ever or good enough? While you're on AfricaArchield.com, be sure to join my email list. There are those things I only share with those on the list. And there's some pretty good tips too. I hope what you've heard today and what you read in the blog comments encourages you to move past perfectionism, step into your mission, and fill your life with love. See you next week.
No, I'm perfect now.
Oh, now he's perfect again.